Well, convicted killer and former Low Country attorney Alex Murdaugh wants to take back a confession he made in connection to his former housekeeper's death.
Earlier this month, Murdaugh confessed to lying about what caused Gloria Satterfield's deadly fall in 2018. Murdaugh's defense team is petitioning the court to remove any judgment. So this comes after he admitted to lying about the circumstances surrounding Satterfield's death, as we just mentioned. It's in connection to the lawsuit by the insurance company Nautilus. The company filed a complaint accusing Murdaugh of giving incorrect information. After the fall, Murdaugh encouraged Satterfield's sons to sue him so they could get a payment from his insurance company. The attorney he suggested was a longtime friend. Murdaugh later confessed to stealing more than $4.3 million from the Satterfield family. He claimed for years that Satterfield fell because she was tripped by his dogs. But new reports show that was not true. Murdaugh's lawyers say they want to nullify the confession, claiming Murdaugh's other victims would not be able to get as much money due to the amount Nautilus is looking to recover with this. Now, the attorneys representing the Satterfield family responded, saying, quote, "This motion is nothing more than the endless and nonstop prattle of sore-losing lawyers. We welcome addressing these arguments in court. They have lost almost all of the meaningful motions they have filed on behalf of their client Alex Murdaugh over the past 2 years. We are confident this most recent motion will be another loser." Of course, you can stay up to date on any developments with that case and see all of our previous coverage when you download our Fox Carolina News app.